What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Going deep, and it's caught in the end zone for a touchdown by Xavion Diaz. A great throw, Diaz wide open. There we go. Give it a good pull. And Vineland defense. Oh, no.
What? That was a little suspect there.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Guzman's Gridiron, presented by Underground Sports Philadelphia and the Red and Gray Gridiron Group. Kyle Bennett, Coach Guzman here with you. Before we get into today's episode, make sure you subscribe to Guzman's Gridiron wherever you get your podcasts in audio form, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else that you consume your audio platform podcasts. They are available on both the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast feed every single week and on the Guzman's Gridiron podcast feed that is new this season, that will continue rolling out into the future, that just has this show on it. So be sure to subscribe over there. Leave those 5-star reviews, and of course subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel if you want to watch the show premiere every single week, and it's available on our channel after the premiere as well to watch. It's also in a curated playlist, so you can watch every single episode from last season, this season, the whole 9 yards. It's youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Leave a like on the video. Drop those positive comments in the YouTube comment section, and click the bell icon as well so you get notified whenever the premiere happens or whenever new videos on our channel go live. Coach, another episode, and it is the bye week. It's that mid-season point pretty much for you guys. You're going in at 3-3. We'll get into the Atlantic City game, but first things first, at the bye week, how do you kind of assess where you guys are at, sitting at 3-3, and kind of, navigating through this first half of the season, if you will?
We've, as coaches, we've met. We discuss, of course, the game against Atlantic City, as well as, to this point where we sit, anything that we might have to go ahead and really look at and adjust and going into this game week against Highland. So that's our focus right now, to go ahead and make sure that we dot our I's, cross our T's, go over a lot of detail that we may have missed, and then going ahead and implementing it come the Highland game on Saturday at 1 o'clock, the 19th.
When you have a bye week at this point in the season, after, that first 4-game road trip stretch and then 2 straight home games, is it kind of nice to be able to kind of just sit and breathe a little bit, have this week to kind of consume what has been kind of a chaotic start to the season with scheduling and being on the road, and then 2 home games, one on a Thursday, one on a Friday, and kind of just being like, okay, we can kind of center ourselves and regroup, and now we can kind of focus on this bye week, learn from what hasn't gone our way, take the positives away from these first 6 games and kind of use that to our advantage throughout an entire off week?
Absolutely. We're going ahead and utilizing this time to get our players, healthy. A couple of nicks last game, so we'll go ahead and use that time wisely in that accord. Also to decompress. It's been a lot of football. We played week 0 where most teams don't play week 0. So our football season started back in August.
Mid-August with the 2 scrimmages at that too.
Exactly. And not to mention we started December 2nd, with the lifting and conditioning program. So it's long. It's long. It's something that I know that the kids, in a way are looking forward to go ahead and kind of just relax for a few days, let their bodies come, get back at full strength and get ready again for the 19th versus Highland.
What are some of the advantages of having a bye week at this point in the season? We've had byes different points in the season over the past few years, even with Coach Russo at the helm. But after 6 games, what advantages are there for you guys as a staff and for the players as well to have a bye week and have that much film on yourselves to kind of look at, learn from, and take away from this first half of the season and now get that opportunity to rest where you do have a good quality sample of how you guys have performed this year, highs and lows?
Yeah, it's advantageous to us because, again, we go ahead, we really scrutinize the film for the past 6 weeks. We pick up on tendencies that we may have that are not so positive. We pick up on tendencies that we have that are positive. We go ahead and make sure that all those are dealt accordingly. And, again, it's time for not just our kids. Of course, they need to decompress and let their bodies, heal as much as possible for the next, opponent that we have on the schedule. However, even ourselves, for us to kind of decompress, get some time back with the family, and pretty much all of us have family at home that we have to tend to. So it's nice. It's nice both ways. The kids get to decompress, the coaches get to decompress, but at the end of the day, we're coming together as a unit to go ahead and face off in the second half of the season.
So let's dive into this Atlantic City game where I look at it and I don't think the box score can tell you the flow of this game whatsoever. If you were not at Gatone Stadium last Friday, you don't know the true story of this game, in my opinion, because there were so many just like fluky, opportunistic plays that Atlantic City was able to capitalize on. And, we were talking about it in the booth. That final drive you guys had, it could have very well been a 28-21 game, and you guys are driving down the field to try to tie the game. That's where it was at. They get 2 pick sixes that were deflections, off of somebody's chest and right into the hands. I've never seen that first one. It was like perfect placement into the defender's hands, and credit to him for being able to have the vision to run it back all the way. Yeah. And then the other one was tipped off of an Atlantic City linebacker's hands right into the hands of the guy who brings it back to the house for 6. Yes. And one of those comes when you guys are driving down the field and have an opportunity to put points on the board. And, you guys also got an interception of your own.
Right.
That Saquon comes up with, and you're in the red zone. Charles gets a nice run down to the 1, and then a holding penalty is called, and that pushes you back. It kind of stalls momentum, and you guys aren't able to capitalize there.
Right.
So if you're not in the stadium and watching all of that unfold, you see 34-6, and you're like, oh, what the heck happened? Like, they got demolished. No, it wasn't. It was 7-0 at halftime.
Right.
So take me through just the way that you guys have decompressed from this game, taken away from everything that happened, the positives, the negatives, and knowing that, even though the final score was 34-6, it wasn't really like a 34-6 game as it was being played.
Listen, one thing we're not going to do is have excuses by any means. Coach Keenan Wright and his staff over in Atlantic City did an excellent job getting those kids prepared. That's a playoff team, man. They are a playoff team. They're going to go long in the playoffs.
They're a top 25 team in the state for everybody that doesn't know. Like, coming into this game and coming out of it, top 25 team in the state.
A solid team, period. And they do a great job over there. Keenan does a great job with his staff. So with that out of the way, we had our opportunities. We really did have our opportunities, as you just mentioned a little while ago. It was 7-0 at the half. Our defense was playing lights out. We were really sticking to our game plan, which was we stopped number 0. We stopped that quarterback. We have a pretty good shot of winning this football game. That kid is a tough kid. He fast, athletic. He just, little by little, just chipped his way through and made some plays, not only on offense but on defense too. Just a player.
He had one of the pick sixes.
Yeah, just a player. I mean, God bless him. Great athlete on the field, and his demeanor off the field when I shook his hand. Yes, sir. No, sir. Good kid, quality kid, and I wish him nothing but the best. He's
also power move for a quarterback to wear number 0. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
That's like you're a pure athlete.
Yeah.
If you're wearing 0, you got to know that you got the talent in your bag, and he certainly does. He reminded me a lot. I don't like to compare high school athletes to NFL athletes a lot, but the way that he ran the ball and kind of his vision, it reminded me a lot of Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Where he kind of surveyed the field. If it wasn't there, boom, he was taking off.
He's gone. He was utilizing his feet, which is fine. That's his game. Nothing's there, I'm gone.
That's how he scored the first touchdown of the game, and it was on a 4th and 7.
Yes. The kid is an athlete and a very well-versed athlete. I gotta put that out there too. Like I said, when I shook his hand, it was I told him, I said, God bless you, go far, and you're a hell of an athlete. He said, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Looked me right in the eye. I mean, just a good kid. So I wish him well. I wish his teammates well going on into the playoffs. But again, we had our opportunities. We did not capitalize on our opportunities. I guess they say, luck be the lady, right? I still am amazed at how those deflections landed in stride.
Yeah.
In stride into the defender's hands, and they were gone. I mean, it just baffles you, but that's the game of football. That's the game of football. We got to play it. And again, there's no excuses whatsoever. We did lose that game, hands down. And, the kids learned a lot that day too, about one of the main things that I talked to them afterwards was about body language. It is key to have good body language on that field at all times, whether you're winning, whether you're losing, whether it's a tough game, a quick, we're going to roll through this team game. It doesn't matter. Body language tells the tape. So a good recruiter is going to look at that first and foremost before he does all the, well, not really. They'll look at the measurables first, of course. But that's one of the first things they look at is, how does this person carry themselves on the field? Let's see that body language. Let's see how they act. And once they see poor body language, that's a strike, and it's a big strike for a lot of teams. They don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? They want a kid that's, quick on the draw. All right, whatever happened. Quick memory. They lost. They forgot about that. On to the next play. Not them seeing rah, 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 yelling, pointing fingers. You don't do that. So I made sure that I made that a highlight at the end of the game for the kids that, body language is everything. And if you can't maintain your body language, it's just going to set you back when these recruiters come to look at you. One of the things, hey, coach, the measurables are there, but how's this kid's attitude? Like, be honest with us. Is he okay? Or does he have a little edge to him? We need to know.
Right.
Because from what we saw in the film, looks like he has an edge, and that might not be the look that we want on our football team. So, again, I just made sure that I let my kids know that, to not cut themselves out of an opportunity by having a bad body language on film.
One of the players that stood out to me in a game like this, where it is tough to kind of, take away positives with the final score and everything,
right.
But week over week, he's gotten significantly better. It feels like he's gotten more involved, both offense and defense. Rayon Carter's been fantastic this season. It has been awesome to just watch, not only from last year to this year, but like week over week. And it kind of started in that ACIT game where he got that first spark with that catch on the far sideline. And then from there, he has just been more involved in the offense, more involved on defense, special teams. Talk to me about just how he's kind of taken every opportunity he's gotten in stride and gotten himself that much more playing time and more involved in all three phases.
And if you remember, last time we talked, that was one of the kids that I wanted to see have a marquee game. Rayon Carter is a great kid, man. He's a well-mannered kid. He keeps his focus on the field and the field only, by way of football, of course. He does excellent in school by way of his grades. He's just carried himself in such a way that he's positioned himself to be where he's at right now, which is he's a big contributor to our offensive and defensive unit. The kid is he's explosive on offense. He's explosive on defense. He keeps people together, all right? I don't know if you noticed in this last game, but it got a little chippy at points. You see Rayon coming over, grabbing his teammate, pulling him to the huddle, pulling him to our side. That's leadership ability. That's quiet man leadership. And that's what Rayon is. He leads by example. He doesn't say much, but what he puts out there as a product on the field is excellent. And every week he's getting better and better. And I'm very, very proud of Rayon.
His hand control too when he's out there on offense and receiving the ball, like, in years past, we've seen him in offense, and maybe the ball bounces off his hands, and he doesn't finish the catch. It seems like his hands, the football term, his hands are softer this year.
Yes.
He's kind of got control over catching the ball and coming down with it, and I think that's been a huge part of his development on offense is him being able to finish the catch.
So one of the main things that I would tell him, and if he was here, he'd tell you too, I always tell, him and some of my other guys that have this tendency, they have a tendency to sometimes look away from the ball to see where they want to go. Then they look towards the ball. By that time, the ball's there. It bounces off their hands. It's on the floor. So I always tell them, you can't do nothing without the pill. You have to have that rock in your hand before you go ahead and make your surveying of the field. Okay? So catch the ball. I'd rather you catch the ball 15 yards downfield, get tackled. It's a first down. We got a first. Instead of you looking, surveying, looking back, acting like you're going to catch it, and you're already looking at where you want to go instead of the ball, looking it all the way in, having possession of it, and then making your move. You see? So, he's done a way better job as of late, looking that ball all the way in and then making his move after the catch.
And, I mean, it goes without saying, but Xavier Diaz has been spectacular this year.
Phenomenal kid.
That catch down the sideline, once again, like, he's a body contortionist. Like, the way that he has that core control is insane. And the catch he makes down the sideline that leads to his eventual touchdown on the other side of the field is one of the catches that I was like, how did he stay in bounds an extra 4 yards after the catch when he's being twisted around looking like a double helix, and, the way that he is able to just control his body that close to the sideline too, it always blows my mind.
Yeah, Xavier Diaz is just an explosive, wide receiver / D-back that we have that is just, I mean, words can't put anything into any type of real thought. I mean, you've got to see him play, and then you're like, how? How did he do that? Well, the kid puts in a heck of a lot of work in the offseason. His body shows that he put a lot of work in the offseason. So to us, it's not a surprise. To others, it's like, whoa, where did he come from? Well, he put in the work in the offseason to get him to where he's at right now. Not just physically, but the mental part. Viewing film from last year and years prior, seeing how, he played years prior to this year, it's night and day. It's night and day. And he was a phenom when he was a true freshman.
The raw talent he had as a freshman was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And now it's 100x worth the price of admission that it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. He's a lot more polished. It's just a very clean product that you're getting your eyes to look at now instead of that raw, unpolished product, which was still exciting to watch.
Right.
But now it's just smooth like butter, man. He just makes everything look very easy on offense and defense.
And he does all of that, and he's not the biggest kid.
No.
No. He's not standing out like some of these other receivers around South Jersey that are, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", even that we saw against Atlantic City.
Absolutely.
Xavier's not the height, but the skill makes up for it 10x.
100%. His devotion to watching film and devotion to just learning the skills he needs to learn at whatever position he's playing, it's paramount, man. And it's showing every week while he goes out there on offense and defense. It just shows. It really, really, it really shows you that he's putting all this time and effort to his craft. So very proud of Xavier.
And to bring up attention to our MVP of the week, our most Vineland player, brought to you by the City of Vineland, it is, for a number of reasons, Saquon Anderson this week. Comes up with the big interception, and one of the other things that stuck out to me, too, while I was in the booth and have that point of view, the interception that Calderon throws comes off to the sideline. Saquon, first one to say, yo, you're good. Tapping him on the back like, yo, we got this. We're fine. Ron Temple doing the same thing. And, again, it goes to show that senior leadership that we've talked about all season long, being there for their freshman quarterback, and to see Saquon doing that in a game that is not going your way speaks volumes, I think, to you guys as coaches,
100%.
Speaks volumes to us as a broadcast team, and that is why Saquon Anderson is our MVP, brought to you by the City of Vineland. And the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing. Season, our presenting partner for your MVP of the game each and every week. And Saquon comes up with the interception in this game and showcases his leadership throughout this game. And I think, Saquon not as involved on offense this year just because of the pure talent that's out there, but it's allowed him to really dial in on defense and be a dynamic playmaker in that secondary, be dynamic in the special teams game as well, and for him to kind of get rewarded and come up with that interception that puts you guys in a position to score, yes, I thought was paramount at that point in the game and really shifted momentum at that point where it was like, oh, we got an interception of our own. We've evened out the turnover battle. Right. And I think Saquon felt good knowing that he finally got his.
Yeah, Saquon Anderson is a special player. I've said it from day one. I mean, I've said it since he was a freshman, brought him up to JV within, less than a week. I brought him up. I mean, he could do so many things. One of the things I wanted to see him do back then was, put him back a kickoff return. Lo and behold, he takes that kickoff return to the house. First time we put him back there, so against Washington Township. I'll never forget that. The kid is special. As a cornerback, he's as locked down of a corner that you can get at the high school level. And I mean locked down because he's gone after the biggest names, and he's held them, if not to 0 catches, a catch, maybe 50 yards, 2 catches, maybe. He holds these size, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", to very low numbers.
And he'll tell you, I want that matchup.
Yes, he does.
He does. Craves that.
Yes, he does. He wants the best. He wants to face off against the best one-on-one all day long, twice on Sunday. And that's why I love the kid. No fear. It don't matter what big name you give him. He's going to play his game. He's a physical, tough, smart corner. He just is. He brings all those tools to the table, and when he's on that field, you can almost sniff something's going to happen on that side of the ball. He's just going to sniff something out. He's going to intercept the ball. He's going to tip the ball, make a big play. He's just that dynamic of a player on defense. And then on offense, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's electric too. Making people miss, has, the skill set to go ahead and take the ball wherever he wants. If he wants to go inside, he'll take it inside. If he wants to go outside. And if he just wants to run over you, he'll put his shoulder down and run you over. So the kid is gifted in a lot of ways, and we love having him here in Vineland.
And I think, I'm sure he loves getting in on offense too, but I think him kind of dialing back being in on offense has allowed him to really even hone in more on his just defensive skill sets, and it's been showcased week over week this season. Absolutely. In particular, and just seeing him, locked down. Atlantic City came in with one of the top receivers in South Jersey, going to Rutgers next year.
Yes.
I don't think we called his name on offense once. You know, he was in there on defense a lot, but as soon as you saw the matchups that you guys were showing him, they were like, they dialed it back, and you didn't really see him on offense. And to me, that was a tip of the cap to just the way that Saquon and the rest of that secondary were matching up against him to kind of neutralize him in that game.
Absolutely. You know, then he got a little banged up.
Yeah.
He got a little banged up for the second half. But regardless, that first half when he was in there, he was non-existent. He was just I mean, Saquon did an excellent job. Not to mention the rest of the D-backs, because it wasn't Saquon on him the whole time, right? Different variations of our secondary coverage. So Saquon wasn't fully on him 100%, but he was there about 85-90% of the time. And again, nothing to it. He just gets the job done, man. Great kid.
You know, I talked to him after the game too with our MVP interview and everything, and he said, you know, we got to be better in practice. It starts there. That's where everything starts. You know, we have to have better practices as a team, not just individually. And I think that also speaks volumes for just the type of leader he is knowing that it takes everyone on this roster to get a win in South Jersey football right now.
He's a passionate kid. He sure as heck, you know, reminds me of me. I don't enjoy losing, not one bit. That kid does not enjoy losing one bit. You know, and he wears sometimes, you know, he wears that face on his sleeve, you know. And that's where I go into talking to my kids and kids like Saquon. Your body language, man. You just can't. I get it. I understand. I was a player, you know, now a coach. I get it. Nobody likes to lose. But it's how you take that loss that defines you as a person, man. You know, you know, people aren't going to want to have you around with bad body language. They're just not. I don't care who you are. They're not. They'll pass you up for someone with better body language, maybe not as high of a skill set that you have, but they're going to be a team player. They're going to be a program kid that the coach has no worries putting him out there because he knows body language is going to be excellent. So, but again, you know, Saquon is very passionate about playing. Again, we love him here in Vineland, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
And I think he would have told everybody that if there was a game an hour later on Friday night, he would have been ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Like, 100%. I don't need treatment. I don't need ice. I don't need wraps. I'm ready to go right now.
Knowing Saquon, it wouldn't take no hour. It'd be, all right, let's roll.
Yep.
Let's roll. Let's get to the next game.
I thought
right
he was
now.
going to sleep at Catone Stadium just because he wanted to, like, become one with the turf. Like, and just go and really, like, hone in that much more. Like, that's how, like, passionate he is and how dedicated he is to winning.
Yep. And it you know, there's a few characters like that. Noah Cruz, you know, Mark Mutcherson. I mean, these guys, you know, they wear it on their sleeve a little bit, and they just got to learn that, you know, body language is everything. So, and these are gentlemen that want to go play at the next level. You know, they want to go play in college. So I always tell them that's a big contributor to whether that person's going to pick you up for their team or they're going to disregard you. You know what, his talent level's nice and all, but there's a kid down the way that has about the same skill set, but the body language is excellent. We'll go after him instead. And that's the truth.
So Saquon Anderson, our MVP this week, well-deserved in a multitude of ways.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break to have a word from our sponsors, but when we come back, we'll dissect the bye week, see what Coach Goose is up to this bye week, and we'll talk some more.
Trick or treat.
We'll talk some more as well about the Atlantic City game, but you are watching and listening to Guzman's Gridiron right here on Underground Sports Philadelphia.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Hey, everybody, quick ad break, and I want to talk to you about our amazing sponsor, Allen Associates, returning for a second season here on Guzman's Gridiron. We are extremely thankful to have them on board with us for the 2024 Vineland football season. And if you are looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. With over 6 decades of experience under their belt, they specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. Whether you're a part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business currently helps upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, Allen Assoc, that's ALLENASSOC.com. So join the family and let them help you secure your future. Contact them today online or by calling 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. Big thank you to Allen Associates for being a proud partner of Guzman's Gridiron.
And welcome back, everybody. Big thank you to our sponsors. So, Coach, to kind of put a bow on Atlantic City and just the way that the game shook out offensively for you guys, obviously 6 points is not what you're looking for from a game, but what do you guys take away from the way the offense played, and what are some things that you guys are going to utilize during this bye week to really lock in on it and really expand upon for every component of this offense, not just, positional groups, but the entire offense as a whole after, 6 weeks of this offense kind of coming together as it has been and really like dialing in for these final couple games of the regular season and obviously eventually the postseason that you guys are trying to get into?
A lot of what the staff took away from this game is, it seemed to be some confusion out there on alignments and assignments offensively and defensively, both sides of the ball. So we've gone ahead and made sure that we address that. Again, as we speak, the kids are in film right now with the OC and DC and Hendricks and Smith. So again, they're going ahead and doing their due diligence and making sure that the kids are aware of all their mistakes. I mean, and again, there was plenty to be had on both sides of the ball. So we're hoping that with that done and over with starting tomorrow, we really capitalize on addressing our mistakes on offense, defense, even special teams had their moments. So let's see what happens come the 19th.
And I think we talked about it going into this game. One of the big keys was going to be field position, and I think for the first time this season you had an opponent in Atlantic City who really honed in on preventing that positive field position for you guys. There were multiple drives where you guys started at the 25, the 20 or worse, and that was kind of a first this season where drive after drive you were starting with having to go 80, 75, 70 yards down the field rather than 55, 50, 45 yards down the field. And I think that was a new challenge for the offense that they were kind of trying to navigate on the fly. Absolutely.
And we told them it was going to be it was not going to be your usual, again, all week we let them know that you're playing against a good, well-versed team. It's not going to be a gimme by any stretch of the imagination. And again, Coach Keenan did his due diligence in addressing his special teams because we didn't have that field position special teams wise that we normally do. So it made our drives a heck of a lot longer, But again, that's no excuse. Our offense should be able to move the ball, matriculate the ball downfield, be it 80 yards, be it 40 yards. It doesn't matter. Football's football. So X's and O's are X's and O's. We got to block. We got to tackle. We got to do all the executionary things that we need to do by way of making sure that we get them done, period. And so the kids know that. Again, they're in a film study right now, so they'll see every one of their mistakes, and we're gonna right the ship. We're gonna right the ship.
Defensively for you guys, even though there's a 34 in the opponent's side of the scoreboard, I thought defensively, especially in that first half, you guys you give up the first touchdown on 4th and 7, but after that you force them into 6 straight punts.
Yes.
I thought that was like a huge swing in momentum to be like, hey, offense, we got you. We're going to get these stops.
Right.
First drive was kind of a fluke for us. Let's go. Like, we're gonna make sure that they're not getting back in the end zone. I thought that was a good sign from the defense that they were able to rebound from a long drive where, most of that drive Atlantic City was just handing the ball off, and their running back was able to kind of find a hole through and through. And when he got there, he wasn't stopping. He was picking up 8 yards a clip sometimes and moving the ball down the field for them. And then after that, it was like, all right, we're good. We're not letting that happen anymore.
No.
I thought Noah Cruz stepped up in a big way. I thought
100%.
the line really, clogged that hole a lot better those successive 6 drives afterwards. And that really stood out to me as like a great in-game adjustment from you guys where you give up points, but after that, you prevented them from scoring the rest of the half.
Absolutely. And that's a testament to, Coach Smith, Coach Shelton. They're doing a heck of a job on that defensive unit, man. The kids have bought in tremendously to the whole defensive vibe, if you will. There were those stops in that game where even that's impressive. That's pretty impressive to have that many stops against, again, I'm telling you, a playoff caliber team. This team is going to go far in the playoffs. They were down, within 20 yards or so the one time our near goal to go ahead and score, and we stopped them. Noah Cruz, you mentioned the name, came in with that big sack. So, I'm very proud of the defense. The way that they've played all season is just lights out, man. They're giving you everything that they have. Let alone, I'm proud of all my kids. They're doing everything that you can ask for a coach. They're playing hard all the way through to the end. So, very proud of our kids.
When you guys go into a bye week like this and you look at the results so far, where you have the 3 wins, the 3 losses, the 3 wins have come via shutout.
Right.
The 3 losses, opponents have scored, and you guys haven't been able to come away with the win.
Right.
How do you guys kind of approach trying to balance that in these next games after the bye week, where it's like, hey, even if we give up points, we can still win a ball game?
Right. And see, that's the part where our kids got to really dig deep and understand that if they stay the course, the win is going to come. The winning will come. You just got to stay the course. You got to execute on all phases, all 3 phases of the game. Offense, defense, special teams have to be flowing in the right direction. It has to be hitting on all cylinders for us to really capitalize and get those W's. So the kids know that. The staff know that. As I always say, I always take, the losses right on the chin for my team, for my staff. I know it all roads lead through me, so I'll be glad to go ahead and take that on the chin for all of them. But like I said, I wouldn't trade one of these kids for the world. I love my kids. They come to work every week for us. They give us everything they have, and that's all I can ask for as a coach.
And then for you guys as a staff, what is kind of the message now that the bye week is here to, enjoy the time off and regroup and reset, but also keep that focus and know that, like, job's not finished yet. We still have plenty of games to go. We still have a lot left on the bone. What is kind of the message there as this week starts with the bye week to still be focused but also take time for yourself?
The main thing that I told my kids even after the game, how do you want to be remembered, man? What do you want out of this? My seniors. How do you want to be remembered as the team that lays down for everybody? All right, that's it. Whatever. They're up by 2 touchdowns. We're just going to lay down and let them win. Or are you going to be the fighters that I know you are, and you're going to fight all the way through all 4 quarters and then let the chips fall where they may, And I know that these kids they're fighters, man, through and through fighters. So they're going to give us everything they have for all 4 quarters, and we wouldn't expect anything less out of our kids.
And maybe while everyone's enjoying the bye week, they can reach out to our good friends at Allen Associates.
Maybe.
And if you're looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. With over 6 decades of experience under their belt, they specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. And whether you're a part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business currently helps upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, which is linked in the description of both audio and video versions of the show. So join the family and let them help you secure your future. Contact them online today or call 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. A big thank you to Allen Associates for being a proud partner of Guzman's Gridiron. And, Coach, with the bye week and everything, how are you as coaches approaching the bye week? And, again, regrouping, resetting, but also staying, dialed in on what's to come, but not looking too far ahead and taking this bye week day by day.
No, again, next opponent on the schedule is Highland. We're all, in tune with that, and that's our focus. Whether it's the staff, whether it's the kids, our focus is solely Highland. So, again, it's nice that we, get to decompress, if you will, because as far as coaches, we're constantly looking up film. We're constantly, throwing stuff off each other's chest, ideas and what have you. So, we're gonna stay the course. We're gonna have our little time with our families. That's gonna be nice too. But ultimately, we want to get back on the winning track for these kids.
How nice is it that you finally have time to focus on an opponent, where you're not bouncing around on the schedule from Thursday to Saturday to Friday to Thursday? You have 2 weeks to really prepare for an opponent for the first time this year. How nice is that as a staff to have time to look at an opponent, study them, and use that studying time to translate that to the practice field, and then the practice field translate to the game field?
Again, it gives us that sense of normalcy, if you will. Because, again, we have been topsy-turvy in all the days that we've played, whether it be a Thursday, a Friday, or Saturday. It's been all over the place. So this gives us a nice stable look at what our opponent's going to be doing to us or how they're going to attack us. So it gives us that extra time to really hone in on what we need to do as a staff and what our kids need to do when they put that product out in the field.
And how nice is it after the bye week, it's another home game?
Yes.
To come out of your bye, kind of rested, refreshed, and regrouped, and get to play at home.
Yes. And it's homecoming.
Right.
And it's homecoming. So, kudos to all our students. They do an excellent job at our school. Good luck to all the contestants as well. We have great kids. So it's just going to be a very fun day for our school body. Very fun day for hopefully for us, for us and as the staff and our kids on that football field. So long as we come out there, zoned in, handle our business, make sure that we execute on all three phases, we're going to have a good shot of bringing home a W.
For everybody at home, Coach Guzman's 1-0 in homecoming games in his career, so looking to build upon that.
Let's see what happens.
A little kind of early look ahead. We'll obviously preview it much more in depth next week, but what have you picked up so far in your film study of Highland and how they approach the game, and what are some things that you think they're going to be trying to do on the field that you guys have to really study and lock in
on? Again, it looks like, the coaching staff over in Highland does a great job of getting their kids prepared. They're kind of they're going to see what we sit in defensively. They're going to look over at their staff, and that's when they'll get the play in after they see what we're sitting in. So, we've delved in this, with the likes of a lot of teams. So it's okay. We just did it with Atlantic City. So, it seems to be a mainstay in a lot of teams now, where they go ahead, see what type of defense they're lining up against, then they'll get the call from the OC or the head coach off to the side. To almost make us be on the defensive for real, if you will. But Coach Smith, Coach Shelton, they're smooth like water, man. Just they're gonna take that in stride. They already know what to look for. We as a staff know what to look for in that regard. So, it's pretty much repetitious for us in the teams that we've played. So. All we've got to do is go out there, execute, and handle our business, and hope to leave with a W.
I don't remember the last time we've played Highland, if ever.
I don't think at least under my watch.
Under your watch.
Under Russo's watch,
I don't
neither.
ever remember playing.
No.
When I, obviously when I was in high school, it was still Cape Atlantic League, West Jersey football wasn't around. I don't remember Vineland ever matching up against Highland.
Maybe the first time.
Maybe.
It may be the first time.
It's one of those, interesting. We had one of those last year, too. I forget
Crossover.
which team it was, but, it's always fun to see those new teams pop up on the schedule and kind of have those firsts. And what are kind of the expectations after this game of everyone in the locker room, knowing that, last Friday was not the result that you guys wanted, but moving forward, what's kind of the message amongst the players that you guys have gathered to bounce back from this loss against Atlantic City?
A lot of the players will preach to you, practice. We practice like, you practice like you play, or you play rather like you practice. So, the practices have got to be higher intensity. They've got to be more drive and focus driven. So again, and this is coming not only from the kids, but the staff as well. So we're going to go ahead, do our due diligence to make sure that happens on a day-to-day, and then put out the best product that we can come kickoff, 1 o'clock against Highland.
How fun is the homecoming energy for you as a coach, to go into a game that the pomp and circumstances there pregame, and, I think it's a cool spot for you guys this year in particular, where you've just played your first 2 home games and the crowds have been unbelievable. Like, the stands have been packed. It's been taking well into the first quarter for everyone to get to their seats and get into the stadium, to then put homecoming right after that, where this momentum is there, and you're 1-1 at home right now, and you're going into such a big event of a home game. How fun is just the overall energy of homecoming for you as a coach?
As a coach, I love it because it brings back memories of when I was in high school and how homecoming was there. This is just at a larger scale compared to the high school that I had gone to. So it's really nice. I also know a lot of the kids, so it just makes it very very personal. Very personal in a good way. And like I said, all I want is the best for these kids. Our student body here in Vineland is excellent, and they deserve the best, man. They deserve that time to go ahead and showcase and drive around those nice cars and the nice waves that you get from the kids. It's a real upbeat, positive atmosphere, and it just rubs off on everybody. It's just a really nice event.
And you guys don't know how good you have it, because when I was in high school, homecoming was still on Friday nights, and it was the bitter cold of the end of October, freezing out there. I remember all 5 guys that were the escorts, myself included for Miss Monogram, all the contestants, we all had chapped lips by the end of the night, because we were frozen. It was terrible. But yeah, homecoming is always a ton of fun, and it is one of those kind of circle on the calendar type of events throughout the school year, and I think it falls in a perfect spot, like I said, for you guys on your schedule this year, to really hone in on that home crowd energy that has been spectacular through the first 2 games.
Yeah, we love our home crowd. They're just it brings another dimension to the whole fray, if you will. We wouldn't want it any other way, man. Our home crowd is our home crowd. We love our Vineland home crowd.
We will wrap up with our alumni segment.
At the Vineland Municipal Utilities, we understand that when our business community thrives, we all win. As a not-for-profit utility, our reliability, lower cost of operations, and flexibility in meeting customer needs make doing business in Vineland beneficial to your bottom line. What's more, we are able to do so while maintaining our commitment to environmental stewardship. We look forward to helping you achieve your business goals now and for years to come. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
I meant to mention this last week, but we have a couple alumni coaches floating around too. Want to give a congratulations to Coach Volpe, first win as Delsey head coach.
Absolutely, congrats, Coach Volpe. Keep winning, my brother.
You coached with Coach Volpe here, obviously. How cool was that to kind of see him kind of take that next step in his coaching career and get that first win at such a prestigious program like Delsey football?
I love that dude. Coach Volpe's he's family. So whether he's wearing that red or our red, he's family, period. And he's doing a hell of a job over there. You know, it's a big time program with a lot of some heavy shoes to fill, if you will, with Sal, you know, having left. But Volpe's just, you know, he's doing his due diligence, man. He's getting the kids, you know, ready week to week, and you know, he captured his first win. When was that? 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
right?
ago.
2
yeah.
weeks ago. So again, you know, kudos to him and his staff, and I just wish him well the rest of the way. Great guy.
And I mean, the South Jersey football scene this past week was crazy across the board, top to bottom. Like lots of amazing wins, performances, and everything. It was a wild weekend across the high school football landscape.
We, like I said, and I'll say it over and over. Our kids in South Jersey are not, you know, any type of stepchild to the North Jersey kids. There's no way. We have a plethora of talent down here. You know, we have very good kids, very good, mild-mannered kids. We have good kids here, man, in South Jersey. We have a nice crop of kids that their skill set is unbelievable. I mean, I would love to see a true North-South game, a true
awesome.
North-South game.
If we could have like a postseason, like all-star game.
Yes, I would love to see that because I'm telling you, we're gonna give them hell. We're gonna give them North Jersey
It would
teams
genuinely be like the high school version of like the Senior Bowl or something. Like
Absolutely.
that would be so cool.
And I don't slight any North Jersey kid at all. It's Jersey.
It would be a game
It's Jersey.
for the 80s.
Yeah,
Like,
it would be
the talent
awesome.
on both sides of
Yes.
the field would be
Phenomenal.
spectacular to watch.
Phenomenal. And you never know. Maybe one of these days that'll come to fruition where it'll be a true North champ versus the true South Jersey champ, and have them, go at it at the likes of Rucker Stadium or. No, Rucker Stadium. I'm gonna say Rucker Stadium. Only reason being is it's almost as if Rutgers Stadium has turned out to be a stadium to go to for our Jersey kids. You know what I mean? So I love when they hold events there, big events. It's awesome because it gets a lot of exposure, a lot of positive exposure. So, but yeah, we have a ton of talent down here. Again, comparable, if not even better, than some of the North Jersey student athletes. But I'll tell you what, that would be one heck of a game. Their best up north versus our best down here. Wow.
Get the all-star jerseys
Wow.
brandished on everyone.
Wow. And you know what? At the end of the day, we're representing New Jersey. It doesn't matter. It's Jersey.
And
it's Jersey, baby.
Competitive fun
Yes.
at the end of the day,
Yes.
too. Like, you're going at it for bragging rights.
Yes.
Of like, hey, South Jersey comes out on top. Hey, North Jersey comes out on top. Like, at the end of the day, you're still having the best of the best go toe-to-toe with each other. We got to talk to some people
Yeah,
about this.
we might
we
plant the
between
seed.
us
We
know
might
too
plant
many
the
people
seed.
that could get this in motion.
We might have to plant that seed.
We're going to have to make some phone calls
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. All the great, like I said, you have so many great names down here, be it student athletes or be it coaches. Same thing up there. You know, you have great coaches, great athletes. That just sounds like a beautiful storm coming together.
And, I mean, you look over at Bridgeton right now, you have a former athlete for that school now coaching them to a 5-1 record right now.
Yes.
What a turnaround for them from an alumni coming in and coaching them to success.
Absolutely. You know, with everything that they've endured in Bridgeton, for this young man to come in and really put a stamp, and a positive stamp at that, on that football team, kudos to him and his staff, man. They the kids are playing for him. You see what happens when you get the right person in there, and that person goes ahead and hires the right people behind him. Sky's the limit, man. You start winning ball games because the kids want to play for you, you know. But I can't say enough about that program, how it's turned around like that. That's kudos to him, man. Him and his staff, because they're really they got something cooking over there that's really, really special. So keep it up, Christian. You're doing your thing, man.
It's cool to see Gavin Gallo on the on the sideline this past Friday
that's
as well.
Guy, dude.
I was like, oh, look who it is.
That is my guy.
Cool to see him back, and I know he's performing really well in college, and
Yes.
it's always cool
bigger.
to see. Yeah,
A lot bigger.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
he
isn't
looked
it?
like Juggernaut.
It's just it's incredible what an off-season program at the college level does to you. You know, he's 30 to 40 pounds heavier than he was here.
And it's like muscle heavy.
Yeah.
'Cause he's walking around like this.
Yeah, he's like,
I
hey,
was
coach.
like,
I'm like,
huh?
wait, who's that? Me? What's Gavin doing?
Mongo.
It's Mongo, dude. He's a special kid, man. I love that kid. He is a true football player. I mean, you figure he played 9 positions. 9 when he was here.
Mm-hmm.
You name me somebody else that played 9 positions in high school. This kid was everywhere. Wherever we put him, yes, coach. No problem, coach. Not only did he play that position, he played it well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be our quarterback. No problem, coach. Oh, be our long snapper. No problem, coach. We need a tackle. No problem, coach. We need an outside linebacker. No problem, coach. We need a middle linebacker. No problem, coach. Matter of fact, we need you at nose tackle. No problem, coach. I mean,
Can
it
you go
didn't.
coach pass the tight end for us real quick?
You know what? Can you be assistant to Coach Smith real quick? I'm messing with you, coach. I'm messing with you. But I mean, anywhere we put this kid, he shined. He didn't just play the position; he shined, man. And look at him. You know, I always say this. He almost cut himself short at the college level, and I just stayed on him, man. I said, Gavin, you're gonna be fine, dude. You're gonna be fine. You're a player. Like, any coach would love having you because you're not a one-trick pony. Give college a chance. Don't worry about what happened when you were younger. Let's talk to the coaches. Let's see what they can come up with. It's now. Your grades are excellent. Lo and behold, Albright, right? Gives him a shot. That's the ball game. He's there. He's happy. He's happy, man, with his buddy, Mr. Patrick Gilbert. Farva, which I love to death too, man. But it's nice. It's really nice to see what he's done to this point.
Bye week coming up. How are you spending the bye week? You know, with no true game to prepare for this week. What's on the docket for Coach Goose this week?
Well, the docket for Coach Goose, I'm very simple, man. My family. That's it. It's the days off. When we're off, it's gonna be with my family, my kids, my family, man. You know, my lady, my family. So that's what I'm looking at. Not anybody that knows me knows that's what I do. You know, I'm family all the way through and through. So, but at the end of the day, everything is kind of like it's like I'm with family, but then I got the laptop. I'm looking at it. I got you. Yep. I'm just looking at them. I'll be right over. Don't worry. So that's the life of a coach, man. You're juggling a lot of things, and but for the most part, it'll just be family time.
So there it is. We will be back next week to preview homecoming and see how everything comes out of the bye week. Make sure you guys are following Vineland Football on social media at VinelandFB on Twitter, Vineland_football on Instagram, and the Red and Gray Gridiron Group on Facebook. And you can follow Underground Sports Philadelphia at UndergroundPHI. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It helps the show continue to grow, helps more people find the show. And, of course, if you want to watch the show premiere live each and every week on our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video. Drop those positive comments in the comment section with us. It premieres like it's a TV show, so we'll be in the chat as well. And, of course, click the bell icon so you know when those videos go live. And, Coach, we'll be back here talking about winning the bye week and getting set for a big-time homecoming game against a potential – we'll fact-check. Potential first-time matchup
ever. Yeah. I mean, again, since I've been here, no.
So. Big-time one on deck, and we will see everybody next week. And, as always, go Vineland.